The Arnold Clark Reel sale is now on.
Welcome to Peter and Ruffy's football show on this Friday. Great to have your company. There's lots to talk about in the company of Alan Ruff as ever. And on a Friday, Barry Ferguson is in his usual place. Here's what we're going to discuss. Yep, full card in the Scottish Premiership over Saturday and Sunday. Really looking forward to it. Of course, you can give us your opinion as well on Facebook, on YouTube and on Twitter at PLZ Soccer. Well, we know what we're going to be talking about as far as the fixtures are concerned. Some of the other news, Dave King, the Rangers owner, has made that offer now to the shareholders. And I think of the 19 million he's going to have to stump up, I don't think too many people will be taking him up on the offer, Barry.
Yep, no, I've got to agree with you at 20 pence, as you mentioned there. I don't think many shareholders will take that price. We've waited a bit of time for him to make the offer. Fair play to him, he's actually made it, but I don't think it's good enough for the shareholders.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, when you look at this situation, he's hummed and hawed for a long time on this one, Ruffy. But I think the one positive aspect of this is all during this period, somebody somewhere has financed the manager to make all those signings while well aware that he has to make this offer and has to put this money in a British account.
Yeah, you would like to think that there is somebody behind the scenes handling the finances of the club properly. I think all the supporters will know obviously the mistakes that were made the last time. The proof will be obviously when the figures do come out eventually, but at the end of the day, supporters are just interested in winning games on the park. They'll deal with the financial side of it later. So as long as Rangers keep winning, we won't be talking about the finances.
Yeah, well, that offer is open till about 1 o'clock on February 15th, if my memory serves me correct. So we will wait and see how many people take him up on his offer. Of course, from off-the-park finances to on-the-park results is what it's all about. And where's your money going this week? Our reporter, Gabriel Antoniazzi, takes a look at the odds.
After several big midweek results in the Premiership, all teams are back in action again this weekend. Fourth placed Aberdeen hosts second placed Kilmarnock, and it's sure to be a tight affair. Killie have only beaten the Dons once in their last 20 meetings. But if you fancy them tomorrow, you can get them at 3-1. Celtic have eased past everyone at home this season and take on struggling Hamilton Accies. They're only 7-4 to win with a -3 handicap. Dundee earned an invaluable 3 points against Hearts on Wednesday and then 9-4 to beat Motherwell at Dens. Going back to Hearts, their new forward David Vanacek came under heavy fire from Craig Levein after his performance the other night, with his manager calling him rubbish. Will Levein start him again? He's 6-1 to score first. Moving on to Sunday, St Mirren host Hibernian, both teams in poor form. Could St Mirren nick the win? They're a good price at 4-1. And finally, Livingston Rangers. Last time Stephen Gerrard's men visited the Tony Macaroni Arena, they were defeated 1-0 by a Dolly Menga strike. 12-1 for a repeat of that scoreline on Sunday.
Yeah, so will that influence your decisions or not? Let's have a look at the head-to-head, guys, because just before we offer our thoughts on each game, it's looking like a forlorn hope for you, Ruffy, in the head-to-head. Look at the Premiership predictions. Barry is still clinging on to maybe catching me, but I think, basically, Ruffy, I think we can call you St Mirren.
No, I definitely need to get a few correct scores. I mean, you two are getting the correct scores. I'm only getting the correct results, but it just shows you what happens if you get 2 or 3 5-pointers, and that's what I need to do.
Yeah, I don't want to kind of replicate anything that's going on in reality, Barry, but are you happy with second? Do you feel you'll come under pressure from the fans, or do you think you need another season to build a team?
No, I'm certainly not happy with second. I'm clutching just now, but listen, I'll keep fighting. I still believe that I'll get a few results. I've got a feeling I'll have a big weekend in me soon.
Yeah, okay. It's like replicating what happens in Scottish football. Barry Ferguson, Alan Ruff with me. Celtic against Hamilton Accies, as you mentioned there, and you could see from Gabriel Antoniazzi's report. Celtic red-hot favourites on this one. Brendan Rodgers was asked today about the future of Scott Brown, who's had a meeting with the Chief Executive, Peter Lawwell. The discussions private between the two of them. Brendan Rodgers at this point saying that he's still not sure what's going to happen.
Nothing to add to that. Scott has spoken with Peter and I had a meeting there, but there's nothing to add to it. So we will let you know on time.
Yeah, okay. So I think he will have made up his mind, Ruffy. Let's second guess it.
Second guess it if they're having meetings and they're discussing it, and for me, he must be really thinking about it, and I think he's been a great servant at the club. He's done everything with the club. He'll be saying to himself, what else can I achieve? And maybe now is the time to try something different.
I'm unsure. I know they're having meetings. I think Scott Brown wants to play week in, week out. I don't know if he stays on, that he maybe comes in for the bigger games, but when you get to this certain age that Scott Brown's getting to, you need to play every single game. I think he's the type of player that wants to play every game, so if he's not going to be guaranteed that, I think he might try something different.
Okay, interestingly, there might be the odd chat about possibly staying on as a coach as well. I'm sure there was discussions about that too, but it's an interesting one. Give us your thoughts, Scott Brown, to stay or to go and seek out pastures new for the last 2 or 3 years of his career. Who knows, he could play maybe 5 or 6 years. I mean, that's perfectly within his capabilities. I mean, okay, maybe not at a certain level, but I still think he's got something to offer. I think people are talking about his demise just a little too quickly.
Well, a lot of people were saying that a couple of years ago before Brendan Rodgers came in, that his legs had gone. For the last 2 years, he has been Celtic's driving force. There's no doubt about that. This season, he's picked up a couple of injuries and he's come back, and he wasn't great in the Rangers game, the last Old Firm game, and then you get people just jumping on the bandwagon. He's finished. For me, I think he's got at least another couple of years in him. He's experienced enough to know that he's not going to get about the pitch as much as he could before. But that's when you use your experience, and he's massive in the dressing room also. He's a big character, and I think if he does leave Celtic, they've got a big job in their hands trying to replace him. Yeah,
absolutely. Okay, we're getting ever closer to the end of that transfer window, and suddenly all managers seem to come out with this line to try and just put a lid on anybody's excitement about possible new faces. Brendan Rodgers was at it today.
I'm happy with the squad that we have. We're open to bringing in players of quality, and I think that is what is key for us. And we've known in the summer what were the areas of quality and what we wanted to achieve, but they're not always available and they're not always affordable. But we have a very, very strong team here, and that's grown over the last couple of years. Like I say, we lost important players, but for us to bring in players, they have to, and it's difficult with the market that we're in, to bring in those players that can come in and go above what we have. It's very, very tough. It's very, very difficult for us. And like I say, we can't just bring in players just for the sake of coming up on the screen that Celtic have signed a player. Our job is to develop players, coach them, make them better.
Okay, I'm sure the board will be happy with that line. Do they need anybody else, Ruffy?
You're a full-back. I don't think Lustig is going to play 100% from now to the end of the season. We've saw what Celtic have been like since Tierney's been out, with Ezagiri in. They miss the driving force of Tierney. So these are the two positions, I would say, from now to the end. Obviously, he's brought in 2 or 3 strikers. They're scoring goals, but let's see what they do at a higher level.
Yeah, well, going by that, it looks as if they're not going to be bringing anybody else in. It's clear that he's not going to go and waste money in squad players. I says last week, if Celtic are to bring players in, they've got to come into the starting 11 for me.
Okay, well, one player has actually talked about the possibility of staying a little longer. That, of course, is Timothy Weah. He's only in. He scored 2 goals in 2 games. He also mentioned that it's been incredible just sampling that atmosphere at Celtic Park.
It's crazy. I've never seen anything like it, to be fair. When the green light shines on the players in the huddle, it's a wonderful feeling, and I can't wait till it's my turn to be in that huddle and see the green light shining on me. And and with regards to the supporters, it's an amazing feeling. To get a goal, and as you saw, I celebrated with them because that's how crazy the atmosphere was, and that's how I appreciate it.
Yeah, it is turning into the greatest showman when anybody signs, though, Barry.
Yeah, it's look. I'm not surprised what the boy says there. I've had it at Rangers when guys have come in, and even if it's not against Celtic, whether it's Motherwell or Hibs or whatever you're playing at home, they come in at it after the game and think, "Wow, I've never been involved in an atmosphere like it." And I seen what happened in Wednesday night with Celtic. It's like being at the dancing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. And obviously the new guy signing at half time, I've seen that happening, so it's something totally different.
Yeah, wonder if we got the full experience, though, Ruffy, of being at the dancing. Just
Nightclub,
head home looking for a kebab. Well, to be honest with you, Bruni might be able to tell him how to get the whole experience, but nevertheless, we wish him well. Aberdeen against Kilmarnock, for me, is game of the weekend, Ruffy. It's Derek McKinnon saying, never mind catching, Celtic, it's all about catching Killie because they are the in-form team.
Well, this is the one that we're looking for. These are the two sides that have been showing a great deal of form. Obviously, Kilmarnock beating Rangers, and then obviously Aberdeen on a right good run. So for me, this is the game of the weekend. To see who I'm sure Aberdeen and Kilmarnock will think they can get that second place. And this is a game. If the two of them were to, or one of them was to get 3 points, they would certainly start believing that.
Yeah, and suddenly Aberdeen's fortunes are transformed by a guy who can hit the net in Cosgrove.
Yeah, unbelievable. I mean, being back middle of November, the start of November, Derek McInnes was getting a bit of flack with playing him and obviously their position in the league. And they've had an unbelievable December. And they've carried that on after the winter break, and Cosgrove is banging the goals in. So Aberdeen have been great.
Yep, okay. We'll get your scores right at the end of this, guys. Livingston against Rangers. It's a fairly straightforward week for Stephen Gerrard. He said he wants a positive reaction from Joe Worrell. He's obviously given him the message, Ruffy, if nobody shows, launch it.
No, I think he'll be saying that to every one of his players. They're going into another surface that I'm sure the majority of his players won't like, so he might change the style of play. And there's nothing the matter with playing back to front. He's certainly got players that can adapt to that, but certainly I think he'll have told the players in no uncertain terms that this can't happen again.
What amazes me, though, is, listen, Worrell's, I think Stephen Gerrard's right. He's human. He's made a mistake. Fine, get on with it. Learn from it. There's no Katic or Barisic anywhere to be seen in this squad, Barry.
Yeah, I mean, Katic was playing at the start of the season. I think, my memory serves me right, it was a Hamilton-Accies game that he brought him off. He didn't have a good game, brought him off, I think, after 60 minutes, and he's not been seen since. I don't know what's happening. He sees him day in, day out at training. Yeah. There's obviously something going on there. And Barisic seems injury-prone since he came here. Yeah. He looked great when he was playing with the Croatian team when Rangers played him in the Europa League.
But he has been declared fit of late. Yeah, I mean, that's the amazing thing.
I've not seen it since he's been at Rangers, which has disappointed me. He looked a player when he was playing with the Croatian team. Yeah. But he's not showing up in a Rangers jersey.
Is it to Rangers' disadvantage, this run of away games? And again, back-to-back on artificial surface, which we already know is not great. Last week, I actually played on the Livingston surface in one of these charity matches. It's fine for... it's fine for lower league. I don't think it's good at the top flight. And will this be a disadvantage? Rangers on the road again?
No, if you want to win titles, you've got to win at places like Kilmarnock and Livingston. As simple as that. The other night, I'll go back to the night. I thought the first 20 minutes, I'm sitting there thinking, right, we're looking good here. Rangers on the front foot, full of energy. And then that one mistake for Worrell, which, as you said, he's only human. It happens in football. Yeah. It seemed to just panic set in through the full team, which surprised me. Yeah, I thought they completely
lost their way. Have you seen that in a team? Have you seen that in teams you've played for? You've lost a goal and then suddenly all confidence to play a pass, to get that fluidity into the centre.
That's when you need people in the team to say, hey, listen, it happens in football. Listen, let's just get back to what we were doing a couple of minutes ago. Yeah. Mistakes happen. That's part and parcel of football. That's what surprised me, shocked me. Yeah.
Is there a leader in that team that should be doing that?
There is one leader, McGregor, but it's difficult for a goalkeeper back there to, Ruff, will tell you, send messages throughout the team.
Yeah, but even he had he had one mistake that I thought, because of his high standards this year, I think he's the best keeper in Scotland. He blew it.
Yeah, he's the best keeper in Scotland by a country mile. Alan McGregor's man enough. He'll go back and look at that and think he should have saved that. He'll be disappointed in that. But he's the only real leader that Rangers have got in that squad for me. And as I go back to it, I thought the first 20 minutes were great. That mistake and just panic set in, and it surprised me.
Davis, I think, can be a leader again for them, surely.
Again, Davis not played a lot of football. You need to give him 3 or 4 games. He's not got a lot of football in the legs. And you've seen glimpses of the quality. I says a lot of people have spoken about Jermaine Defoe. He's a quality striker, but for me, the top signing will be Stephen Davis. Once he gets 3-4 games into his legs, he'll be a top player in that Rangers team and in that dressing room, because he knows what it takes to win games and the pressures that come with playing with Rangers.
We've been talking and continually mentioning week in, week out the joys of Craig Levein. He's absolutely at it again. He has mentioned that David Vanacek has apologised for his lack of fitness, and obviously he's had a word with him on that. He's also leathered anybody who criticises him. I don't think he's taking criticism from anybody, Craig Levein. I don't think he needs to. He knows exactly. If you lose 2-1 to Dundee and they haven't, they couldn't buy a win of late.
Yeah, and I know from our point of view in the media side, it is very funny when he comes out with these things, but I can see why the guys are saying it's bad management. It's bad management to a player to absolutely slaughter him. He's a new player and he slaughtered him for his fitness. He played him last week and he played 90 minutes. He never slaughtered his fitness there, the game last week. So I thought these kind of things should be done behind closed door. If you've got a new player and you want him to go in with the team and be part of the team, it's just not the right thing.
I would say this to you, Ruffy. At times I think you're absolutely right. I think you're old school on this, and the reason why I say that is, we've got conflicting arguments here, Barry. People turn around and saying, the modern day footballer can't take a rollicking. The modern day footballer doesn't like somebody leathering him. Well, the modern day footballer better not go to Tynecastle and sign for Hearts, because for me, Craig Levein is a breath of fresh air. But he's not the only one. See, the amount of managers and players that are absolutely caning each other this season alone is unbelievable.
Yeah, I think it's crept into the game. You can't criticise players. They come down here like a ton of bricks. He's just been honest. I think he's more disappointed. I know he's seasoned. I think he stopped his season end of November. Yeah. So the boys obviously had 4 or 5 weeks off. He's obviously not been in the condition he was in before he finished playing. So I think that's what Craig Levein's getting at a wee bit, that he's disappointed. He's not come back in tip-top shape, and I've seen that he's went with a sports scientist or something. They've got him in a fitness programme. So I seen signs of him last week against Livingston. Look, he's a big, powerful guy. Yeah. I think he'll do a decent job. He's the type of striker that Hearts need. Yeah, absolutely. He's also the type of striker that Craig Levein likes. Dundee against Motherwell. Fair play to Jim McIntyre. I can see those little shoots of recovery coming in. If I'm picking out of the 3 teams, I think St Mirren and Hamilton are doomed. And I think Dundee might just scrape away. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I've got a lot of time for Jim McIntyre and the job he's done at previous clubs. I was just wondering, was it going to happen for at Dundee? But listen, he's had this transfer window, he's brought a few players in, let a few players go, and now he's starting to get some results. He had a few draws, but that's a great victory at Tynecastle. Yeah. Hard place to go, so they'll take some amount of confidence for that. Yeah, absolutely. Ruffy, I don't want you to tell me what score you predicted, but we surely can't have any great confidence in Motherwell to pick up points in our score predictor, because you never know what you're getting. No, but I think I still think they're safe enough, so they'll not be getting into games with any fear of being in the relegation zone. So you would like to think that we go up there and put on a good show. I think there's a couple of young boys got a good airing in the midweek there. The boy Turnbull looks a good player, so I think they're good enough to go up there and get a draw. Yep, he's trying to get him on a longer deal. I think Motherwell fans will be hoping that can be announced fairly soon. It was a good goal in midweek. St Mirren against Hibs. I must apologise to the Buddies fans, because they've been a welcome addition to the Premiership, but I think no matter what Oran Kearney tries, it's too late. Yeah, it's a difficult job for the guy. He's come in, it's not his squad. I think he says they were top heavy as well in terms of players. he's let a few go, and obviously difficult to bring some players in. It's going to be a long, hard second half of the season for St Mirren. I think they're going to be down there. I've got to agree with you. I think it'll be Damon Hamilton. I think Dundee will just push away for it.
Yeah, Hibs. Lenny says he needs 2 new faces. One of them, I hope, is a striker, because quite simply he's slaughtered the ones he's got. So he better get somebody in to give them a kick up the backside.
Yeah, I think he's run out of patience with them. You know, I think he's obviously tried everything he can. He's tried to sort of G them up by, you know, saying they need to try harder and all that stuff, and it hasn't worked. So it'll be interesting to see who he brings in. He certainly should have enough contacts in the game to bring somebody decent in.
What odds would you have on him making that last-minute bid for Scott Allen?
I've just about to say that. He's got to try and get him. He's obviously got to do a lot of work behind the scenes and speak to whoever he needs to at Celtic. Scott Allen has got to get there sooner rather than later. I know he signed a pre-contract to go in the summer, but you're a football fan, you like seeing good players on the pitch. I hope Scott Allen gets there before the window shuts.
And time to get regular starts for such a talented player. Give us your thoughts on the games at the weekend. Ruffy, I'm going to go Aberdeen to win 2-1 against Kilmarnock.
Yeah, I'm going to go Aberdeen as well. I think it'll be quite a tight game, but I think the home advantage will win this one.
What was the score?
2-1.
Okay, Barry.
Kelly have not got a great record against Aberdeen. 2 teams in good form, but I think Aberdeen are full of confidence. 2-0.
Celtic to hammer Accies, 4-0.
3-0 for me.
I'll go with you, 4-0.
Okay, Dundee to win against Motherwell, 2-1.
No, I've already said I'm going to go for a 1 each draw.
Yeah, so who cares? No, I've already said, I don't care what you say, Ruffy.
I think this has got draw written all over the top of it.
Okay, Hearts against St Johnstone's get draw written all over the top of it, 1-1.
No, I think, obviously, Craig Levein having a blast at the guys, I think they'll get a reaction, 2-1.
Yep, I think they'll get a reaction as well. I'm going to go 2-1 as well.
Okay, I think we're all agreed on the last 2 on the Sunday. St Mirren, I think they're going to lose 2-1 to Hibs.
2-1 for me, yep.
Yep, I'm with you.
And Livingston Rangers to bounce back, 2-1.
Yep, need a reaction, simple as that. They can't lose any more games for me.
2-1 for me.
There you are, we're all agreed. And that's not good news for Ruffy. That means he won't get any points on the predictor. Give us your thoughts on Facebook, YouTube, and of course at PLZ Soccer on Twitter. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel and you'll get the programme Monday to Friday at 6 o'clock. From Barry, Ruffy and myself, Peter Martin, have a great weekend. Thanks for watching.
The Arnold Clark Reel sale is now on.